Honey, hey honey, look at this. Another subpoena from that goober Comer about my totally innocent Epstein Island visits. I guess he's butthurt that we told him we would show up on Christmas Day for his hearing. Should I write him back saying we're free Easter? Honey, hey, put that lamp down.
Now, from a secret location outside of Hooker, Oklahoma, nestled in our DEFCON 1 priority bunker, safely ensconced hundreds of feet below the fruited plains where America grows her amber waves. Articulating profundities with humor and perspicacity seldom heard between these purple mountains' majesty, it's the Jay Thomas Show, with your humble host, Jay Thomas.
Woo-wee! That's how it's done. Ooh, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. You hear that? You hear that, Clinton cut? Well, that's how it's done. And that's how the Clintons have done it. And that's how the Democrats do it. And what do the Republicans do? They hold another congressional hearing. Right now, Nick Shirley is up in Congress, and he's testifying. And I'm not going to take cuts of him. He's testifying about the Minnesota fraud that we all know about. And it's been going on for 10, 15 years, according to the whistleblowers in Minnesota. And so the Chairman Biggs, he gets done outlining all this fraud, billions of dollars in fraud, billions, that the Somalis, okay, yeah, there's just one white lady, but the Somalis have gotten a lot of it. They're the pros. They're the pirates. They're the pros at this stuff, and they have they got the Leering centers and the taxi centers and the home health care centers and all the other bullshit that they've just been ripping us off billions of dollars. And he outlines that. And this is how the Democrats handle it. Listen to this is
statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for convening this hearing this morning to talk about the harm that fraud can cause. And thank you for everyone that is here this morning to testify. It's so necessary that we continue to investigate and prosecute all forms of fraud, including government fraud, which can turn many into victims. That is because a person committing fraud against a government program steals from all of us as taxpayers and abuses the initial purpose of these programs. They harm the organizations that need these programs to operate, and most importantly, they harm the people that the program is designed to help. Whether we're talking about a program that feeds school children, helps seniors find housing, helps people overcome addiction, or provide services to address disabilities, it is critical that the dollars that we invest in these programs actually serve the purposes that we have in mind when we, the lawmakers, created them.
The Democrats who create them. Because you know why? Each one of these programs, whether they're helping children with no legs get to the Leering Center with no Leering, to the doctors that don't doctor, no matter what they do, okay, what happens is the money goes out, it gets swished around in a NGO, put out there on a website, then it's laundered, cleaned, folded, put into a suitcase, and taken over to Somalia, where they wire it back to the Democrats. And it's been going on for years. Where do you think the Democrats get the money for these to run for office? The Democrats get it from this Democrat washing machine, laundry, money laundering. It's just billions of dollars for them to take and run for office and keep the other people in power. Keep the Somalis, Somalian in Minnesota. What are Somalis doing in Minnesota? Well, Obama. Obama flew them there. In Minnesota. Have you seen Somalia? Do you know where it is? It's not in the Alps. It's a shithole country stuck in Africa that's hotter than hell. And they sent these people to where the Norwegians live, up into Minnesota. And nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen because they're having a congressional hearing. Not one damn thing is going to happen out of that hearing. I guarantee you, because Pam Bondi's not doing anything about it. She went back on Fox. She went back on Fox to tell everybody how absolutely angry she is about the Sunday, about the church invasion from the long-haired hippie types. And there she was, going over it again. And I have to watch it. And one day, what's going to happen, I swear, what's going to happen is she's going to go on, Pam Bondi will go on Sean Hannity, and Pam Bondi will say there's retribution coming and we're going to come and arrest these people. And then Sean Hannity is going to go tick-tock and my freaking head is going to explode. Because I've had it. Nothing is going on. We are a quarter of the way through of Trump's this is a lame duck session. I hate to tell you this, but this is a lame duck session. He can't run again, so they don't care. We are a quarter way through it, and nothing has happened. We are halfway through, over halfway through, the midterms, on the way to the midterms. And you know how to, just demoralize your base? Do nothing. Because we have been putting up with this for 10 years, ever since 2015, 2016. We voted for to drain the swamp, and we thought we were draining the swamp, but we're not draining the swamp. We're just sitting there looking at the swamp. And I know what everybody's going to say. I know they're going to say, well, we got to cross our I's and dot our T's, and we got to make sure we do this right. But let me ask you a question. How long did it take the Biden administration to start spying on parents at local local school board meetings? How long? What? A day? 2 days? A week? I'm going to tell you something. It wasn't a year. It wasn't a fucking year. Looking for Cece. She's downstairs. It's not. Oh, hello, Cece. It's not. These are billions of dollars that these people don't give a rat's ass about, and the reason why they don't give a rat's ass about it is because they're going to get a chunk of it. They want it to continue. Don't listen to the Democrats, and the Republicans are too chicken shit to put that out there and say you guys are benefiting from it and you won't do a damn thing about it. You haven't done a damn thing about it for 10 years, and we're going to do something about it. We're gonna put Bondi on Fox again if you don't stop it. I mean, basically, that's what. Yes, you do. You heard that, huh? Well, I'm sorry. It's again. We're not live. What? How many? Yeah. Okay. You heard that. All right. So CC wants to know how many kids. How many kids is this helping? Are these programs helping? Well, none. I don't know. I don't see the legless children, Somali children, being shipped over to the Leering Center because the Leering Center doesn't have any Somali children, legless Somali children in it that can't get a ride there. So they have to have the Somali taxi driver, take them to the Leering Center, dear. I don't see that. Yeah. So, well, how do you stop it then? Okay. So, all right. So Cece is asking. She says that did did uh did the administration stop all all funding? Yeah, I believe so. It was from SNAP, and this doesn't matter. It's SNAP. It's the Leering centers. It's the taxis. It's the home health care people. All these Somali operations are rigged, and they're just a big money laundering thing. So you have to stop it. I don't know. I don't know that. She wants to know if Minnesota's taking up the slack. I don't know. That's somebody. If anybody has any ideas out there, let me know. I'll look into that later. But that's not the point. The point is did you hear the opening? That's true. I gotta hand it to Bubba. Hey, look, I got no one of these subpoenas. What do I do with it? Bubba, he knows. I'm just gonna write him back, say that we can only meet him on Christmas. That's what he did. So last year, Comer sends him a subpoena to come and testify, and he goes, I'm just going to tell him I can only be there on Christmas. And he did. And I got to give it to him. The Democrats are the professionals. The Democrats are the Harlem Globetrotters. And the Republicans are the Washington Generals. And they're always getting pantsed in the middle of the floor, because the Republicans are stupid. They have no balls. And the ones that do have balls are falling for this frickin' Epstein bullshit. This is taking up more time. You know what? You know who knows? And that now is free to say, you know who knows who was the diddlers when they were kids? The women right now who were the victims of Epstein. They're old enough now. They can come out and say who it was. They don't have to be afraid anymore. Everybody knows it, and they're not. Nobody is, and they're still doing this frickin'. Yeah, you want to harass Bill Clinton? Okay, I'm all for it. Okay, but it's it's useless because it's not going to go anywhere. And if you think it's going to go anywhere, let me show you what they said. Okay, so Comer sends this subpoena to Clinton. Bubba gets it. He's reading it going, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to write something back to him. All right, so this is what Bubba writes back, and this is the most recent one. This is just, 2 days ago? January 13th. All right, last week. Last week. All right. So, this is the meat of the story. This is what Clinton writes back. He gets a subpoena and he writes them back. Every person has to decide when they have seen or had enough and are ready to fight for this country, its principles and its people, no matter the consequences. That's how Clinton handled the subpoena. He told him, he basically said this. He gave him the finger. Now, he ends up with, for us, now is that time. Remember when Obama used to say, someone would write a law or someone would propose something, and he'd go, that's just not us. Right? That's what he would say. That's not who we are. Yeah, it is. It's exactly who we are. What did he do? He flooded Minnesota with Somalis. So this is how the New York Times, and the New York Times still has a seat in the White House press briefing. Why? Why? So this is how they handle this. Mr. Comer, this is a quote from the New York Times article. Mr. Comer's relentless efforts to force them to testify reflect his overall approach to his panel's Epstein inquiry. He has sought to deflect focus from President Trump's ties to the convicted sex offender and his administration's decision to close its investigation into the matter without releasing key information. That's how That's how the New York Times handled it. At least they ended it like this. Instead, he has worked to shift the spotlight onto prominent Democrats who once associated with Mr. Epstein and his longtime companion, Ghislaine, whatever her name is, Maxwell. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm not even going to try. That's the whole point. That's the point. And the frickin' New York Times still has a seat in the Washington press room. Why? They say, no, just get out of here. Or just don't call on him. Let him be just there. I don't know. You know, the New York Times is a crap paper. It just is. And it's not going to get any better. It's not going to make a difference. They don't care. So just stop it. So all this stuff is going on, and Pam Bondi, like I said, went on Fox again, outraged. She's outraged. It's all outrageous. This is outrageous, people. Those people, they didn't deserve that. Those church-going folk didn't deserve that. So we're gonna be really mad about it on Fox, and that's it. Nothing's happening, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get the. We have to make sure this is great. Is perfect. This has to be perfect. Not really. Not really. You think it was perfect when they went after the parents at the school board meetings? Do you think it was perfect when they arrested all those old grandmas who walked by the Capitol in J6? They arrested them and ruined their lives. And there she's sitting there doing nothing. I'm not seeing it. Are you seeing it? Am I not? You know, I try to keep the TV on, but it interferes with something here, and I don't understand it. But it's interfering with our show. So we turn the TV off. I don't know. I can't see it. I don't see anything going on right now. And we're halfway through. We're over halfway through to the midterm elections, and nothing's happened. You want to, you like I said, you really want to demoralize your base. This is the way to do it. Go over the Devos, talk about Greenland. I know those are important, but you could be doing those things, you know, behind the scenes and getting on what we have been yelling about for 12 years. 12 goddamn years. I'm sorry, Cece. And nothing has happened. It's not just this year. It's every other year. It's the CIA and Intel people, and lying to the FISA court. The FBI people who spied on the parents at the school board meetings. It's all this stuff, and it's not happening. Nothing's happening because we have to cross I's and dot T's. We have to make sure it's absolutely perfect. And then they're going to take these lawsuits and they're going to take it back to Washington, D.C., which shouldn't have a district court. They shouldn't have a circuit court. They shouldn't have a federal court for crime in D.C. They shouldn't, because none of those scumbag judges are going to put, or who's going to man. Who are they going to get to testify in on the jury? The D.C. civilians, yeah, those are great people. The people in North Virginia, they're not going to put a Democrat in jail. They're all lying bastards. You have to close the district court or the circuit courts down in D.C. You can't take a Democrat to court in D.C. They'll win every time. And that's just it. So take them to Florida. Take them to Texas. Take them somewhere else. You know, that's another thing. Why aren't they fixing? That is the infrastructure that the Democrats have built. Why aren't they taking that infrastructure apart, bit by bit, tooth and nail? No, they're not going to. I'm just, you know that guy that the guy with the beard that went into the church, who's now saying that was my right. He's freaked out that Bondi's up there. I don't know why. All she's going to do is appear on Fox. I mean, all he has to do is turn the TV off. Nothing's going to happen to him. He says he's a combat veteran, and there's information out there that he was in human resources. Is that it? Yeah, human resources, whatever the hell that is. Is that? Can you look at that up? Is there Army human resources? There are. Okay, that's worse than a POG. He's not a combat vet. Maybe he worked in the DFAC. Speaking of DFAC, I got my Stocky Mill Coffee wrote DFAC, which is delicious. Oh, and I'm wearing my Greasy Bear shirt. So, I mean, this is where we're at, and it's getting to the point. If you don't want me voting, if you don't want the people I know voting, this is the exact way to do it. Do nothing. Do nothing. When you should be. I know you don't want to be like Bill Clinton. I get it. But Bill Clinton was one of the most effective politicians out there. And if you're not like Bill Clinton, if you're not doing this, if you're not out there going, I feel your pain. I do. Matter of fact, I'm the one that caused your pain. If you're not out there with these syrupy garbage that he does, that it just grabs people. You're reacting to Democrats. Start charging at Democrats. Start doing that. There's no one better at it than Trump. J.D. Vance can do it, but he can do it without having Toonses take control. Yeah. You think I should explain Toonses again? Okay, Toonses. Really, you think? All right. Toonses, the driving cat. I said this in one of my shows last month. And Toonses was the Saturday Night Live. There was a cat who could drive a car. Every once in a while, Trump lets Toonses take the wheel, and it just sort of drives off the cliff. In every episode, he drives off. The cat doesn't drive a car. He can't drive a car. He drives off the cliff. And every once in a while, Trump lets Toonses take over, like that 2 hour press, or 2 hours. He let Toonses drive a few times, but, that's just what he does. He likes to sit up there and talk. You ask him a question, he's going to answer it. So get somebody who's tight. Get somebody who's tight and on the mark, like J.D. Vance. All right, okay, we're going to go. We have some things to look into. We're going to be going to in Tulsa. We found out that like 3 or 4 of the council men and women on the city council have NGOs and have gotten taxpayer money into their NGOs. And these are the politicians that run the city. We want to find out if they're just bullcrap NGOs. Politicians should be nowhere near NGOs. That just pisses me off, because that's how they launder this money. And if you don't believe me, just look what's happening in Washington right now. Just last week, both the Democrats and the Republicans funded what? An NGO. Guess what? The Republican Democrat organizations are part of the NGO. We vote for this, and time again, you just run into the politicians who are the crappiest people on the planet. A politician is lower than the crap that maggots who eat crap out. That's how bad it is. It's getting worse. All right, so we're going to go and do that. We're going to go and look at a few things. We'll be back. And again, if you're not going to be like Bill Clinton, if you're not going to fight the Democrats with what they fight, we're going to lose. We're going to lose in the midterms. We might hold the Senate, but it's just going to be, and that's what they want. Because as soon as they do that, you think that the chaos in Minnesota isn't planned? You think that's not planned? That's exactly what it is. If you can keep an eye on the chaos, the stupid HR guy with a beard saying he's a combat vet. If you can keep an eye on all that, if you can keep them looking at that, then they don't look at the. You can only watch one thing at a time. You don't look at the Somalis stealing you blind. So, all right, it's 26 minutes. We got to get out of here. We'll be back though. Jeez, this is so it's so painful, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back. Well, Jay Thomas, we're always going to